last video episode, we met our tiny house for the very first time when it rolled into our lives. When we saw our tiny house coming down the road, we were delighted and surprised. We toured the inside of our tiny house for the first time and felt great wonderment for our new home, along with anticipation for the long list of work ahead of us to do all the finishing work in and around our tiny house.
There's our house!
So we had a builder build the majority of our house, though their craftsmanship on their finishing wood details falls a bit short of what we wanted. So we're putting a lot of our time into sanding, filling nail holes, smoothing off the rough edges before we tongue oil. So in the process, I would say we're getting to know all the details about the house and about the wood that makes up our new home. Hello friends, we are 4 life adventure buddies, best friends, mother and daughter, and 2 wonder pups on a journey to find, appreciate, and share daily wonders and joys with the world. We are transitioning from a lifestyle based in a regular house into a traveling tiny house RV. Everything in our life is changing right now, from where and how we are going to live to how we earn a living while pursuing our heart and soul dreams. While we certainly have a lot to do and a lot to figure out right now, we are adventurers, filmmakers, artists, dancers, teachers, and writers on a mission to share wonders with the world and with you. Join us as we find wonder amidst our busy days. With so much to do, there is still wonder and joy to be found. We're going camping!
We're going camping.
Wait, we're moving. This is it, friends. We are saying goodbye to life in a big house for now. We are about to spend the next several months living one big camping trip in our little 17-foot travel trailer Quercus while we work every day on our tiny house. We have a lot of finishing work to do in, on, and around our tiny house. Thankfully, we have this little cutie to call home each night.
Ta-da!
This is where we will be camping for the next couple of months while we work on our tiny house.
Yes! It's so exciting that we're camping in Quercus and on the same property we're working on our tiny house. Now isn't that just a wonderment that we get to have it all in one spot?
It's a wonderment and such a gift that I'm so grateful for.
There's so many wonders, there's so many things to be thankful for. Feels good.
If you are not already, subscribe to our channel. When you subscribe to our channel and interact with us, our channel and videos get shown to more people. It's amazing how much this can help us out. We're just 2 people pouring our hearts and loads of editing time into creating these fun and inspiring videos. Sharing our experiences to find and appreciate daily wonderments while finishing our tiny house with you is a very meaningful element of our journey to live each day with joy, purpose, and appreciation for life. In our video episodes, we share our simple, everyday wonderments.
task of masking a workspace in preparation for the work to be done in the area is a job that is easy to underestimate or rush. We certainly did at first, though we realized right away when we started sanding that we needed to protect and mask all of the surfaces in our tiny house that we did not want to get scratched, messed up, and potentially scarred from construction work.
Sore muscles. Stretch the back. We should invest in blue tape stock because we use a lot of it.
We started sanding, made some mistakes, and then we realized that spending time to get the necessary masking job done now would not only help us keep the non-wood surfaces safe from sanding, but also for the tung oil coats that we would be applying to the wood once the wood is prepared. Masking the inside of our tiny house took days to complete. Thankfully, we did a good job of masking the inside of our tiny house. The time we put in masking well at the beginning of our process saved us in cleanup and repair work later.
We never predicted that we would spend so much time sanding the inside of our tiny house. Yet now that we have, it's difficult to imagine having spent any less time pouring our hearts and souls into making this home ours. There is something quite wondrous that happens when you pour all of your energy into something that you care about. The results often inspire wonderment. The builder did a great job on creating and getting our house to this point. But we want to go a step further and just kind of clean up the rough edges and say where the nails were tapped in to hold the tongue and board grooves. We're filling them with wood putty. I guess just who we are. We want to have it be that just smooth and really quality finish that we're looking for. So we're putting some time in to get everything, all the edges cleaned up and no rough wood edges, and fill in those nail holes. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us. So woo! And it's hot outside. So yes. As a lover and hugger of trees, there's something very special about sanding and getting to know the grain and the knots of our own wooden house. Right now, I am sanding the rough spots and filling the nail holes in the upstairs sleeping loft area of our house. And it feels like I'm really getting to know every board and the really cool, beautiful knots as I kind of scan and understand each one. And in that, I feel like I'm really getting to meet our house, which is so special. So much planning and more planning and preparing has gone into this. And now we finally have our house, and I'm working on it. And we're pouring our own sweat and hard work and time into getting it ready to move in. And it feels so good to be finally at this stage. And it's like, yeah, Yes. So this is good. The smell of the pine boards is amazing. It's a true wonderment. I love being surrounded by wood, and it's just, it feels really good again. Like, we've lived in a very stone and ceramic house for the last year and a half or so, and so to be surrounded by wood feels really good. And I feel like this is going to be the most amazing home, and it's everything I've really been wanting. So now we just gotta put some time into getting it all ready. My life motto right now is just keep sanding. Just keep sanding and sanding and sanding. And I guess that is a wonderment, how you can have a really rough edged, colored, marked up piece of wood, and you just keep sanding long enough, and pretty soon you've got a smooth, round, and really beautiful piece of wood. That's a wonderment. Okay, it's a whole nother day. I don't know how many days it's been, like 2 weeks now of sanding and filling little nail holes and sanding and then masking and then more sanding and then filling. And I guess through this whole thing, I'm learning that I'm a whole lot happier if I don't let myself make plans for how much longer I think this is gonna take. Because every time I do that, it ends up not being so, because it's taking way longer. And then I feel disappointed that I'm not working fast enough. And that's no fun at all. I'm working on our house right now, and that really is an awesome thing. And it's so easy. When we got our house, the plan was kind of clean up the rough edges and then get to the tongue oiling. But getting to that stage of being ready to apply our beautiful oil finish to the walls is taking a lot longer than I thought it would, because of all this sanding, filling, masking, and cleaning up the edges work. But this is all part of the process. And so I guess day after day, as I spend time in our house doing the same tedious bits over and over again, I'm really learning to just be in the moment and not try to plan how long I think something's going to take. I have such a tendency to do that, and if there was ever a daily schedule to try to break me of that habit that usually leads to self-disappointment, this would be it. Just, I gotta remember to be in the moment and really embrace the job at hand, and know that that job that I'm looking forward to getting to, because it'll mean I'll be done with this stage, it will happen, and there's no need to rush to that moment, because it will happen. And in the meantime, I just gotta keep pouring my heart into cleaning up this beautiful wood.
I've been working hard, trying to get it in, putting in work, still doing my thing. I've been working hard, trying to get it in, putting in work, still doing my thing. Get it, work, do my work, work, get it, work, get it, work. I've been working hard, trying to get it in, putting in work, still doing my thing. I've been working hard, trying to get it in, putting in work, still doing my thing. I got this new angle, headed in a new direction. Different mentality, but still thankful for the blessings. I learned some new lessons, everything a teaching moment. Actions speak louder than words. I know who really want it. Facts. It don't take all day to see if the sun is out. Everybody got excuses, ain't nobody running out. Me, I'm action oriented, that should be my album title. Dedication and commitment, man, that shit is hella vital. The key to success was lost in a haystack. 20 albums later, man, I got my place back. And I got a couple placements where they don't even place rap. And now I got some new fans and I know.
Okay, so it's 2020 and we're all familiar with the term PPE, personal protective equipment. And it's very important for our doctors and nurses and all of our essential care workers and essential workers in general to have PPE to help keep everyone as safe as possible. Well, I found in the sanding of our tiny house that some PPE can be very important for keeping me safe. So first up, I have plastic gloves because I'm sanding and and I'm frankly worried after some of this that I'm not gonna have any thumb fingerprints left. So I've got gloves, which also comes in good for doing all the little color filling of the wood. Okay, then I've also found that because half the time I'm sanding above me, that I have to have safety goggles. Safety goggles are very important. And then there's sawdust everywhere and was going in my hair. So I'm wearing a nifty little shower cap. Then I was finding that as I was sanding above me, I was like this. Which meant that everything was going in my mouth. So my newest bit of protective equipment is good old trusty face mask. And now I find that whatever I'm doing, I can sand and stay more safe. Wood is a wonderment. The way that it can be like sanded and you can get rid of lines and everything just with some sandpaper, that's pretty amazing. I'm hungry. Thank you.
How's it going?
It's going good.
Good.
Sandpaper is a wonderment. I mean, you have a marked up, rough edge, sharp piece of wood, and if you just keep sanding long enough, you end up with a beautiful piece of wood that's smooth and clean, and where you get to see the grain again, undisturbed by man-made marks. And I guess that's a wonderment, the power of sandpaper and the power to find the beauty of the wood again underneath its life adventures to get to this stage. Wonderment.
I got a feeling that this could be a little more than feelings. If I'm being honest, honestly, you got me where you want it. You got me playing every card, spending all my time trying to find out more about you. Cause I really want you in my space, picking up every call, I'm falling, all my money's on you. I never knew I needed love, needed love, needed love. I always thought I'd be enough, be enough, be enough. You show me what it means to see outside of me. God knows what I'd be missing. Now I really need your love, need your love, need your love.
There is something sort of magical that happens when it takes weeks and weeks to do a job. Any previous conceptions of a space's small size seem to evaporate. The longer it takes to do a job in our tiny house, the larger our tiny house grows in size. Perhaps it's a really good thing when a tiny house feels like a really big space. For us, it's a wonderment. Wonderment.
More about you. Cause I really want you in my space, picking up every call, I'm falling, all my money's on you.
We did it. We got everything sanded.
We have been sanding for weeks, and we're pretty sure that we're done sanding the inside. It's been an incredible experience of wonderment, really, what some sandpaper and effort and a lot of love has done for the inside of our house.
It's a wonderment because sandpaper itself is a wonderment. I think it's ingenious that sand is used to help us out. And so, this man-made sandpaper, but inspired by nature, is able to smooth the wood, the coarseness, the sharp corners, to create just a beautiful finished wood shape. It's like erosion at its best.
Yeah, it's a wonderment. And it has helped us out so much. And so now I think we're done with this job. And my thumbs are excited to say that we're done sanding.
We're ready
and
to
we're
move
ready
on.
for the next step, which will be tongue oiling the interior of our house.
Where we'll help bring out the polish, the
colors
of the wood.
the grain. So that will be our next time adventure. So join us because we're really excited about what's going to happen. This will be really cool. So in the meantime, share with us your nature or your woodworking or your home-inspired wonderments. We love hearing from you. If you would like to help support our video productions with a small monthly monetary contribution, consider becoming a Sea Tree Wondrist member through Patreon. In addition to creating these video episodes, we invite you to follow Sea Tree Wonder on Facebook and Instagram, where we share several fun posts throughout each week. Thank you for watching. See you next time, friends.